How's it going, traders? Just want to say thank you guys for 10,000 subscribers. Really appreciate it. I will be doing a giveaway. Details are on the screen now. We will be talking about it a little bit later, so stay tuned. And once again, thank you guys for 10,000 subscribers. All right, starting things off with the call report for the US dollar. The past week, the banks got rid of 1,000 long contracts, and they also got rid of 1.2 thousand contracts as well. Reminder, if you do want this spreadsheet lifetime access, it is available on my Patreon. So starting from a top-down approach here on the DXY, looking at the weekly chart here, one thing that's important, I've been talking about this for a while, is we are reacting off of weekly demand. And like I said last week, we are kind of getting that double bottom now. In this market, I don't trade double bottoms, but on the dollar, that's what we are seeing as we are coming off of this demand from from the past. So with that being said, I am expecting price to go deeper into this demand, maybe 50% of the way through. Now let's go down to lower time frames and let's see what's going on. Well, if you look at the daily chart here, again, we have had a reaction off of this daily supply at 102.121. We had the initial, well, we had the supply back here. Then we had the initial reaction off the supply, pushed down to almost 101, couldn't quite get there, and then we pushed back up, and now we reacted off of the supply once again, and we are pushing back down. So daily supply is in control as well as the weekly demand, but also we have a very strong weekly downtrend. So until we can get this to take place on the daily chart, where not only we remove this supply, but also the downward trend line as well, until that takes place, I will not be bullish the US dollar. I'll be very clear on that. As far as swing trading opportunities go, I mean, if you do have a 1 hour uptrend, there is possibilities to get in long on the US dollar on day trading timeframes. We will get into that maybe a little bit later. But looking at the 4 hour chart here, it's just kind of going sideways. We pushed up, reacted off the daily supply up here, and now we are kind of just going sideways here on the dollar. So I am expecting price to rally down, and that's what I will be expecting the next week, because there's really no significant supply zones above that I could see us rallying to. And so far, we do have 1 hour demand holding, so I'll be looking to see if that gets removed as well, as far as trading short the dollar goes. But at the end of the day, daily downtrend, daily supply and control. We want to continue to be having a bearish bias on the US dollar until this downward daily trend line can change. All right, on to the forecast for the Euro US dollar. The past week, the banks added 1.1 thousand longs, and they got rid of 3.8 thousand shorts. Now, looking at the weekly chart here really quick, remember, we do have weekly momentum that is up and is in play, and we do have profit margin to the upside. So I do want to point that out, that the bias, in my opinion, on the euro, just based on this weekly chart, one of my higher time frames, is that the bias is to the upside. So I just wanted to point that out before we break it down on lower time frames. As far as the daily chart goes here, we have a very strong daily uptrend, just like the opposite of the DXY, which is what we just went over. We just removed daily supply back here. We have tested daily demand down here. If we do push down to this daily demand, we could potentially look for trades off that daily demand, even though it is tested. The reason I say that is because it was barely tested. It just barely hit the zone. So if we do push in deeper, I think we could definitely still see a move off of that daily demand. But one thing I would caution you guys of, and I do talk about this in the membership quite a bit, is this upward trend line. And if we do push down to this demand right around this upward trend line, it could cause trouble, and we could actually see it spike down below. So I would be trading with caution around that daily area of demand. If you go to a 4 hour chart here, something pretty interesting happened, and I alerted members when price broke above here. Now, it's a very large wick, but I am calling this basically almost a 4 hour uptrend. It kind of is, it kind of isn't, because if you look here, the price is just clearly going sideways, and we're kind of just going, we're just basing out. Although we did break the high, it is with just a wick. We did not remove this supply yet. As you can see, we reacted off the 4 hour supply once, came up, broke through with a wick, but then we continued to react off of it to the downside. So that's why, in my opinion, the supply is still holding. As far as trading the euro goes now, I don't really like this area for shorts, especially since it's been pierced through already and based on the daily uptrend. So for longs, there are two things, and I mentioned this last week as well. We could either wait for this demand to be hit down here on the 4 hour chart and look for confirmation longs, or if we can get this supply fully removed, and if we're left with new 4 hour demand down here, that is a zone I will have on my charts, and that is a zone we can maybe look to trade from. So I would just be waiting for this 4 hour supply to be removed, or for this 4 hour demand to be hit to look for longs in the euro. On to the forecast for gold. The past week, the banks got rid of 6.8 thousand longs and they got rid of 2.2 thousand shorts. Before we get into it here, I just want to talk about the giveaway for the 10,000 subscribers. First, I appreciate every single one of you. If you are subscribed, if you've been supporting me, I appreciate you guys more than you guys know. So thank you so much for 10,000 subscribers. And with that being said, I will be doing a giveaway. Here are all the membership options, but for this giveaway, I will be giving away one silver membership and one diamond membership. So how you enter is by, first of all, like and subscribe if you are not already. Second, comment down below a little bit about your trading journey. I'd be interested to see about how you guys been doing in trading, or just a little bit about your journey. And at that point, you will be entered into the giveaway. And what we're going to be doing is on this Sunday, the members only live stream forecast that I usually do every Sunday for the members, it will be available to the public for everybody to join. And that is where I will be also doing the giveaway, and I will announce the winners, the 2 winners for the giveaway during that members only live stream. But remember, it's not members only this week, it is for everybody to come and see. And also I will break down any tickers you guys want. So make sure to join on Sunday. It should be around noon Eastern time. Join the free Discord group to get more details on when I will be doing the live stream. But that is when the giveaway will happen. I'd be happy to see your guys' comments down below. And once again, thank you guys so much for 10,000 subscribers. So as far as gold goes now, we definitely could pull back to weekly demand to fuel for a bigger move up to break the all-time highs. That does seem definitely very plausible in my opinion. Looking at the daily chart here, we are still inside this daily demand. It is not high quality. We have some sort of structure down here as well that we could react off to the upside. But if we do break this structure, this daily demand, I think we could be headed lower. As far as trading gold goes now, I'm not seeing a whole lot of setups. I mean, we do have this 4-hour supply. It's held once, twice, 3, 4, almost 5 times. If we can get this 4-hour supply removed, that might be an indication to me that, hey, maybe we're not pulling down to 1870 that daily to that weekly demand, and we're just going to go to all-time highs from here. So I will be personally monitoring this 4-hour supply, waiting for that to get removed, and then waiting for longs after that point. But who knows, if we do push lower, we definitely could see price react off of some demand down below on the 1-hour chart, but who knows. So as far as gold goes now, we are inside of demand on the daily chart, but I am expecting maybe a deeper pullback into that daily demand and maybe possibly down to 1870. So I would be watching this 4-hour supply to wait for that to be removed for potential longs. All right, onto the forecast for the USDJPY. The past week, the banks added 9.8 thousand longs and they got rid of 1.9 thousand shorts. Looking at the weekly chart here quick, clearly momentum to the upside the last couple weeks, and that is what we are seeing. It's definitely possible, hey, you know, maybe we push up to weekly supply where then we push down at 146.197. Who knows? We will definitely be monitoring the lower time frames to see what's taking place. If you look at the daily chart here, obviously just a huge day here on Friday, a very large move up. We do not have an uptrend yet. If we had an uptrend, I would say, hey, that's the evidence we need to start to actually apply our capital to the long side on USD Japanese yen. We have not gotten there yet. As far as longs go, you could look for longs down here in this demand at 129.144, or if we do push up on this daily chart and break that daily supply, any daily demand could be used for confirmation longs. Obviously, that's more for swing trading opportunities, but in these weekly Forex forecasts, I like to talk about those opportunities as well as day trading opportunities. So as far as the 4-hour chart goes here, we are currently reacting off a 4-hour supply that I've had drawn back here for the members at 136.36. If we can get that supply removed in the 4-hour chart and we're left with 4-hour demand, you could look for day trades in that 4-hour demand. Or if we pull back to this 4-hour demand, you could also look for day trades in that 4-hour demand as well. And if we go to a 1-hour chart, something pretty interesting here. There is a decent little 1-hour demand zone here. The reason I'm not really loving the zone is based on its location. I'm not a fan of the fact that it's from back here as well. I think we could see something like this take place. So I would definitely be trading with caution, but we definitely could see a little day trade scalp off of that 1-hour area of demand. So that is USD Japanese yen. Remember guys, if you have any questions about anything I'm saying in the forecast, comment down below. I will respond to every single one. All right, on to GBPUSD. The past week, the banks added 5.5 thousand longs, and they also added 1,000 shorts. Looking at the pound weekly chart here, first, momentum up, just been strong up moves in the pound on the way up, and we have clear profit margin up to 1.29 at the weekly supply, where I think we could be headed down from. So I think, in my opinion, we are probably headed up to that weekly supply because there's really not a whole lot here to stop price. So I think that is what could be taking place on the pound. And we do have momentum, unlike the JPY where we didn't have a daily uptrend. On the pound, we have a daily uptrend. Not only that, we are currently reacting off of daily supply from back here. I am expecting this supply zone to be removed. We are almost removing it right now. So if we do remove this supply, and if we're left with daily demand down here, that could be a zone where you look for longs in on the daily chart on the British pound, especially since we have that daily uptrend. If we go down to some of the lower time frames, I know a 4-hour chart isn't a really super low time frame. Guys, I definitely understand that. But as far as the 4-hour chart goes here, we have 4-hour demand at 1.24. We certainly could see a move off that 4-hour demand. So that could be an area where you look for day trade confirmations coming off of that 4-hour area of demand. As far as the pound goes, that's pretty much all I'm seeing. As far as shorts go, I don't like shorts. I wouldn't even consider shorting until we can get a 4-hour downtrend. So as long as we have a daily uptrend and a 4-hour uptrend, I think it's longs all the way here, guys, on the British pound. USDCAD forecast. The past week, the banks added 4,000 longs, and they also added 6.4 thousand shorts. Onto the weekly chart here, 1, 2, 3 reactions off of that support down there. So my dream setup and pullback is down to this weekly area of demand, where I will look for potential long trades. So let's go down to some of the lower time frames and see what's taking place. Onto the daily chart here, we had significant daily supply here. We react off demand to the upside, and we removed the supply. I was hoping we could get the pullback to this daily supply where I would be interested in taking a potential short, but we couldn't quite get up there, and now we are reacting off of daily demand. It is certainly possible we do react off this daily demand to the upside to 1.373 to the supply I just pointed out. So this pullback we're seeing on the USDCAD the past couple days could just be to fuel for a move to the upside to daily supply, where then they might drop price down to weekly demand. That's what I'm thinking could play out. It's also possible we pull down to this basing structure down here and then pull up to to daily supply. So I will be monitoring this daily demand to see what takes place. As far as trading it goes now, to be completely honest with you guys, I am really not seeing anything here at all, to be quite honest with you. I mean, we do on the 1-hour chart, we do have some decent areas of demand down here, maybe right here as well, that we could see, moves off of that, or a little bit lower like that. We could see moves off those zones because there is daily demand type down there, but really not loving it. So as far as USDCAD goes, I would probably just skip it and I would maybe just wait for the supply to be hit, or wait for new supply or demand to be formed on the daily chart. All right, on to the Aussie USD forecast. The past week, the institutions added 9.6 thousand longs, and they also added 6.7 thousand shorts. So to be very clear and very straightforward, I am not trading the Aussie dollar. I am waiting for this weekly demand to be hit, which is also monthly demand as well. And let's go down to a daily chart. I will show you guys what's going on in more detail. We have a support level here, pretty much, in my opinion, and what I think is going to take place is we are going to react off of this purple daily demand to the upside. Now, it's definitely possible we push down to this little area down here and just break that purple demand and then pull up, but I certainly will be looking for longs in this general area on the daily chart here. And until then, I really don't see any reason to be trading it. I mean, look, if you look at my top right screen and my bottom right screen, we clearly have 4-hour and 1-hour downtrends that are looking strong. So there is some sort of reason that you might be able to trade down to that weekly demand or daily demand at 0.65. You could be trading short down to there, but it's got to be on day trading timeframes only. We do have a 4-hour supply zone at 0.66. We could see a move off of that supply, so you could use this supply zone to look for a confirmation entry. Who knows, we could push up a little bit higher though and then push down. So really anywhere in this area, you could be looking for 50-minute confirmation to the downside to trade down to 0.65 at that daily area of demand. So to summarize, I'm expecting the Aussie to pull back to daily demand, which is weekly demand, at 0.65, where then I will look for longs. But in the meantime, since we have a 4-hour and 1-hour downtrend, you could be day trading shorts on day trading timeframes, which include like a 1-minute, 5-minute, or a 15-minute chart. All right, 2 more to go here, guys. We are on to the USD Swiss. The past week, the banks added 145 longs, and they also added 1.2 thousand shorts. Now, on the weekly chart, there's really not a lot going on, so we're not going to look at it. But on the daily chart here, we are currently reacting off of daily demand, and I think it's possible we push up to daily supply at 0.90. I think it's definitely possible, and we could definitely see a move off of those supply zones up there in the daily chart. As far as trading the USD Swiss goes, it's really not looking great. If you go to a 4-hour chart, there's just a lot of indecision. It's pretty much, in my opinion, we're pretty much just going sideways here. So I would basically just be waiting for a breakout of that range. Now, we do have a very quality 4-hour supply zone at 0.90. We definitely could see a move off that 4-hour supply zone. So it definitely could be a spot where, hey, maybe you do get a quick little scalp day trade off of that 4-hour supply. I think it's definitely possible. But like I said, I think it's possible we also pull up to that daily area of demand, or sorry, supply. So we could be pushing up till there. And as far as shorts go, I really need to see all of these lows be removed to continue the 4-hour downtrend, and then I would maybe consider shorting. But as far as USD Swiss goes, really not loving it. I mean, we do have a 1-hour supply zone right here. We could see a move off that, but it's just pretty low odds trading in my opinion. USD Swiss, definitely not one on my watch list, to be honest, the past couple weeks. Last but not least, we are on to crude oil. The past week, the banks added 1.6 thousand longs, and they also added 9.8 thousand shorts. Full disclosure, I am currently long on crude oil. Now, if you guys have been watching my forecast for a while, pretty much ever since this candle closed up here, I've been hyping about this daily demand. I've been waiting for the daily demand. I've been waiting for the pullback. I was made fun of. I had personal friends of mine saying, oh, it's never going to pull back. It's never going to pull back down to there. It is what it is. It's whatever. Patience pays. You wouldn't have been paid if you were going in long up here. Patience paid to wait for daily demand down here. And who knows, we could roll over and push down. But I am currently long, and I am currently up in profit. So coming off that daily demand, I will show you guys the trade and what I'm looking for now. So there was this pretty risky set and forget setup. And when I say risky, it means I didn't risk the full 1% of my account. There was this little structure demand down here, set and forget inside of that daily area of demand. Definitely a risky trade, something that you don't want to risk, a lot of money on. And as you can see, zero drawdown. My first take profit was hit. Stop loss was left. So I'm in profit, holding for a very large move. And what I'm waiting for now on the oil now is to look for confirmation. Now there's two types of confirmation here. We can look for this supply in the downward trend line on the 1-hour chart to be removed, and any 1-hour demand, we could look for longs in that, or who knows, maybe we pull down to this area down here and then move up. So I'll definitely be monitoring this area as well. So I will be looking for this supply in the downward trend line on the 1-hour chart to be removed. If you want a little bit more conservative confirmation, if you come over to the 4-hour chart here, we have 4-hour supply. I'll be looking for this 4-hour supply to be removed, and any 4-hour demand here could be the demand we react off of to the upside. But at the end of the day, we have some macro demand and control on oil. I've been bullish on oil for quite a while now, just been waiting for the pullback, and I think we have a lot of profit margin up to at least $90 a barrel and long-term profits at least $100, $105 a barrel. So I am waiting for longs to add on to my longs onto oil, waiting for confirmation on either the 4-hour or the 1-hour chart. I hope you guys found this weekly Forex forecast helpful. If it did, I would really appreciate a like and a subscribe if you are new to the channel. And as always, check out the YouTube and Patreon membership if you want to get my daily chart analysis and much, much more.